I started painting in 2000. So it was a little over 20 years ago. And at first, I used to paint mostly for homeowners. And I started basically going to home and garden shows and setting up a booth and showing my artwork. And I used to get a lot of clients that way. So, I mean, now things have changed quite a bit, and it's mostly about online presence. But, you know, that was how it started. And you know, I've been doing this ever since. So, this is the last project. I actually just finished this today, or sorry, yesterday. So this is an Amazon warehouse. And so we painted the 3 sides of the building here. So this isn't it's a huge job. It's not the most detailed, but, you know, first I was pretty proud to get a huge project like Amazon, and then to see it turn from white to this nice blue design. I was very excited about that. So I do a lot of projects where, you know, this is in a restaurant in San Francisco. Kids' rooms are pretty common. This was for a shopping center in Citrus Heights. I did a series of four different ones. You know, this was for an Ace Hardware, this Dublin. Let me see. These here were for a recycling company in San Carlos. And then here's the other side of it. So it's pretty long. Here's the other one. This was for the shopping center. There's another one. I've done work for Pepsi. I've painted 2 murals for Pepsi so far in the back of somebody's house. So I do a lot of, you know, it's a lot of different things. This is for a company in Emeryville. This is an Ace Hardware. Oh, there's me. This mural here is this one here. And this one's in Hayward. It's in downtown Hayward.
How large is that one?
What was that?
How large is that, and you work alone?
Oh, this one is 40 feet. So 40 by, I think, 20 it was.
So do you have the structure to go, like scaffolding to go up all the way?
Yeah, so you can see in this one I'm on a lift. So I use scissor lifts pretty often, especially for big projects like this.
And
so yeah, this one is on Main and B in Hayward.
Yes. And do you have people for you? Like, I mean, you have your company, so you have other people helping you?
Yeah, I do. So I have one assistant that helps me all the time, full-time assistant. And then I have different assistants that will help me depending on the project. Because, you know, some people, they don't want to travel too far. So if I do a job in San Francisco, I have, you know, some people that will help me there. If I'm in the East Bay, I'll find somebody that can help me there. But typically it's just me and my assistant. His name's Gustavo, and he works with me full time.
So sorry, go ahead. That one is so extensive, the one with the Hayward. It's so realistic and extensive. So just was wondering, how long did it take? That's like just so huge, and it's like, and it's exterior. So how long did it take you?
So let me see. There were me and my assistant, and then I had two other people that helped me, I would say probably part-time. And it took us 3 weeks to finish this one.
So Hayley, is it possible for you to just walk us through like an end-to-end when how you receive a project? How do you get an inspiration, photographs? How do you technically really plan it out?
Yeah. So each project is so different. So, I mean, I could talk about this one here. So this one took about a year to plan because I got a call from the company that was renting the space, and they told me that the city of Hayward is requiring them to have a mural painted on the back of this wall. So the hard part was getting the city, the owner of the building and the renters of the building to all be on the same page and approve a mural. There, of course, was, the people that were paying for it didn't want to pay much for it, but then the city said, well, we want a nice piece here. So they basically, they were not allowing them to put something very, simple or not. They wanted something very professional. So like I said, it just took about a year. And the design process was, I had to do many sketches, throw many ideas out at them. And so we came to this agreement because the owner of the building is Italian, and he was basically the main person that we had to get to agree on this, because the city just said, hey, paint something beautiful. The people that are renting it out said, hey, we have to have this done. So, no one is liking our ideas. So paint whatever. We need to open our business. So it was just up to the building owner. And since he is Italian, and he wasn't liking anybody else's ideas, I proposed to paint an Italian piazza. And so he agreed to this one. And he was pretty happy with it. I'm not sure if we're able to see it here, but I even put like his family in the windows here. Wow. I don't know if you can see. And it says Westbury Restaurante. So that is kind of his little spin on it, and his family in the restaurant. And then I guess him and his wife up there. And so he agreed if I could do these little things. So
do you usually do a grid, or do you use projections? How do you inflate? How do you decide the proportions from your designs?
This one was done projection. So, and they're all different, when it comes to, to the project. But usually projection is just easier because gridding something out just takes so long to do.
Right, totally.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
When you're projecting also, are you just sketching it first, or you have to project it every time when you start doing?
Oh, no. So we projected the image, and then we sketched the whole thing out in one night, and then we just painted from there. Okay. So it's just basically just the lines. We project in just the lines using like paint brush is light gray, or so I usually just use some watered down gray.
Do you use spray paints in your murals?
No, I don't. I don't really know how to use them very well. Every time I try, I end up going back to the brush just because that's easier for me.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Yeah, I have tried. So yeah, I do everything from restaurants to tech companies, lots of homeowners, more restaurants, vineyards.
Do you use all acrylic or like oil paint for
This
interior
is
and
all,
exterior?
it's all acrylic.
Even exterior?
Yes. Yeah, it's all acrylic. For exterior, I would just do exterior paint. And you could also use acrylic exterior as well. My baby. So there's more restaurants.
Hey, a couple of questions. How do you calculate the amount of paint that you will be needing? Is it like by square foot or is just like a sense that you have? And second, do you have some of your original sketches so we can see that?
I could look and see if I have any sketches. I'm doing one. I'm working on one right now. So here, what I could do is I'll just kind of scroll through here. So I guess you guys can see some more of the projects I've worked on, and then I can show you some sketches and answer questions or, anything that you have. And then some of these are on my website, but a lot of them are not, especially the first ones that I sent you because they're so recent. And I try to update my website just every few months. But this one here is a really popular mural that I painted probably about 5 years ago on the back of someone's house. And so this is all painted on the wall. It looks like it's 3D, but it's all painted. And I get a lot of comments on that one. Schools, or just tech companies. Blue Moon, I painted for Blue Moon Brewery.
And all your tools are brushes and rollers and all kinds?
Yeah, just brushes and rollers, different types and
Yes.
and then this here, I was on a show on Food Network where I had to create an edible piece of art. So that was fun. So these are all older pieces that I'm getting to right now. These are all older pieces.
That's what I said, Da Vinci of San Francisco, because look at the amount of work you have.
Oh yeah, and this is not even all of it. I've probably painted maybe 300-400 murals.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this
Does
is
it
just
take
some
a
of
toll,
them.
a professional hazard, any?
Any hazards?
Yes, while doing it or on the side or like body or like just curious.
It's been pretty good. I'm not going to say I haven't had any. On this last project that I did for Amazon, we accidentally bumped somebody's car. And so luckily I have insurance for that. But other than that, really, that was the first time I ever had to use my insurance. And of course, that was just 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I have never had to use my insurance, but, I have a funny story about this lawyer's office that I was painting for. And I have, my gallons of paint in this, I have a whole gallon bucket. And she tells me, oh, good night, babe. My daughter's saying good night.
Yes.
And so I have this gallon, and she, the woman says, oh, don't worry about the carpet. We're gonna we're putting in new carpet, so don't worry about it. And 2 seconds later, I dropped the entire gallon paint on the floor.
Oh my God.
So I was just thinking, yeah, luckily. But and that was a big mess to clean up. I mean, I felt like so bad about it, even though she was, replacing it. But yeah,
So I see a lot of ceiling painting on ceilings, and I remember one time, I mean, painting on ceiling is so difficult. How do you do? Like, do you lie down and paint? Just curious.
No, I stand up on a scaffolding or a ladder or, like say, for instance, this one would be on a ladder because it's not too high up.
That is is that projected or is that like drew with the scale? Like, because it has to be symmetrical and
Yeah. Yeah, these were done so long ago. I believe I would hand do this. So from what I can remember, I would draw it on paper. And so I would have, like half of it or a fourth of it, I think, drawn on paper. And then I would transfer it just with regular old transfer paper.
Yeah.
And do it that way. Just because, I mean, I think this one I did probably when I first started painting, maybe 20 years ago. And the projectors weren't as good as they are now. And I probably didn't have the money for it. So this one these were just done with, transfer paper.
I have a question about the projector. That one building that you painted the mural on that was outside. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm having problems envisioning what kind of projector projects something so humongous.
Oh, there's some really cool projectors out there.
Wow, that's cool. So like
So-
movie, something you would put in a cinema kind of a thing.
Yeah, this projector I have, and it was funny because I didn't know that this projector even did what it did. So we're down on the bottom, and this image is up 20 feet. So it starts 20 feet up, and then it goes up another 20 feet. So it's not eye level.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have this projector, and I have 2 lifts. So I'm like, I have to put the projector on the lift.
Right.
But when I was at the bottom, it projected it all the way to the top. And when I saw that, I was like, what? What is happening here? Like, I didn't even know that projectors could do that. So here's a projector on the ground, basically projecting 20 feet up.
That's amazing.
And is this the home project? This is like home theater projector?
I believe so. Yeah, I
Wow.
believe so. It's just, I'll go back to the beginning. Yeah, it's just, I went to Best Buy because I had a projector and my projector died. And so I went to Best Buy, and I remember they were out of all of the cheap projectors. So I was forced to buy this, $1,200 projector.
Wow.
And it came to be the best thing I've bought.
Yes.
That's cool. And that's not nearly as much as I was thinking. Like I was thinking $10,000 for the projector.
No,
That's
it
amazing.
was probably about $1,200.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
great. I was
Yeah.
all proud of myself because I was creating a queen size quilt and I projected something onto the wall and traced a tree. And I was all proud of myself, but it was this like a projector you would use in a conference room to project
Oh.
PowerPoint charts, it was really basic. And I was thinking how awesome it would be if the technology got better. So it's good to hear that there's stuff out there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure just a projector like that is good enough to do a lot. I mean, even with the projector that I have, it doesn't work as well in smaller spaces. So if I'm wanting to project something in the house or someplace where, the wall is only, I don't know, 10 feet, 20 feet away, it doesn't project so well. I have to kind of chop it down.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question. I'm just curious, like, how do you get these commissions? Like, are you a part of an organization which does only murals, or it's just word of mouth?
So yeah, it's word of mouth and just, I think, my online presence.
Okay.
I've worked very hard in marketing and basically just getting my website at the top of Google, and also with the business name being Bay Area Muralist, that helps a lot because anytime anybody goes online and searches for a muralist in the Bay Area, I'm the first one that pops up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then I think just because of my website, the work I have, and, because I have a lot of different projects I've done, anything from realistic to, pretty much anything, right?
Okay.
Cartoon.
What would you give advice for a beginner muralist? Let's say just somebody wants to do something like you. What would your advice be for them?
I think it would depend on where they are in their, in their career, or as far as being an artist. Mm-hmm. So if you're already a great artist and you already know how to paint murals, because that would be the first thing, right? To learn how to paint murals. So then if you already know that and you already have that talent, then of course it's going to be, how do I sell? And how do I market myself? So for me, that's obviously the most important thing. And that's the biggest problem I see with a lot of artists is, they might have a talent, but they don't know how to sell their talent. Mm-hmm. So I would just suggest, again, it's very important to have an online presence, whether it be your website, social media, talking to people, getting out there, meeting people, going to shows, art shows. I mean, really anywhere where you think that people might want a mural, go and talk to them. I mean, I used to go into coffee shops and just be like, hey, here's my card. This is what I do. I think a mural would look great here. And, I got a couple of jobs that way. And now I do email companies here and there to say, hey, if you're ever interested in a mural, here's my information. Here's my website. I do that sometimes, but really now I get most of my work just online. I get, I would say right now I'm getting about 2 calls per day for murals.
Oh, okay.
And it's not that I paint them all because some people can't afford them, and some people aren't ready, or it's not the right time, or usually I think a lot of people don't quite understand what they cost and how much time and everything that goes into it. But I do get a lot of calls and emails for murals.
Okay, that's cool. Thanks.
I have a question. So, how difficult it is compared to painting acrylic on a canvas?
Well, that's hard for me to say because I paint on walls. So I would say for me, it's more difficult to paint on a canvas. I'm just not used to painting on a canvas. You know what it is for me is when I paint a mural, I feel the vision of it so much quicker than on a canvas. It seems like it just takes forever when I'm painting on a canvas.
Hey,
But
could I
that's
ask
just
you,
because I'm used to it.
could I ask you really quick, what is, how do you charge, like by square foot or by type of project, place? Can you take us through your, that process?
Yeah, a bit. So, it ranges about, I would say on average, about $30 a square foot. So, the more detailed the mural is, it could cost more. And if it's something that's more simple or, then it could cost less. Anything like a ceiling or somewhere up high or somewhere where it's difficult, it can cost more, maybe more like $35 a square foot. And then also, I usually will need some type of scaffolding or a lift or, there's always materials added into that as well. So yeah, I usually just figure it in about $30 a square foot.
But do you what about do you finish it with the varnish?
Yeah, for out exterior murals, I do. Mm-hmm. For
And
interior murals, it's not really necessary because really all of this is just like house paint. You paint the inside of your house and
Yeah.
it lasts forever. You paint the outside of your house and it lasts maybe, 15, 20 years. They usually start to fade around 10 or 15 years. And then it's pretty easy to go and touch up even the exterior murals. But I mean, they last forever.
have you had your mural repainted? Like, have you kind of lost your mural sometime, like in this last 20 years?
Well, I have had some customers call me back to touch them up. Actually, this one here I touched up. So I painted this one 20 years ago and she had me come and touch it up. So I do go back and touch them up for my clients. And of course, I don't charge them too much to go out there and do that for them. But as far as any of them getting covered, I'm sure plenty of them have, but I don't know of any of them. I'd rather not know.
Yes.
Do you have to prepare, Hayley, the walls or anything before you start? Is there any pre-preparation that you do?
Usually no. It just needs to be clean, at least somewhat clean. I have had to just hose off a wall or something, but or paint it and prime it. That has happened. This one here, the piazza, this one did have to be primed, the entire wall, because it was really dirty. But typically, no, especially indoors, the walls are usually fine.
I have a question. So once you paint a mural on a wall, and then if it gets dirty, can you just hose it, clean it with water? Are
Yeah.
those painting possible? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I even tell, say, restaurant owners, that, just use a non-abrasive cleanser and wipe it off. Sometimes, for restaurants, say, this one here, people may touch it as they're coming through. And so it can, I'll put a gloss over it, and the gloss makes it very easy to just wipe off. So yeah, just wipe it off, clean it.
Design, or so the design stage when you work with your client, does it like, do you have to prepare some sketches and go back and forth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, very often. So actually, I can go back, I can show you some of the sketches I've done.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I can figure this out and go back to Zoom. So how do I shut off? Here we go. Okay, good. So I can share a sketch I'm working on right now. Oh, something happened here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I am working on a sketch right now. I was working on today. And this is for a company called Home Light in San Francisco. And it's not done, but it's a sketch that I started. And so the wall is 30 feet by 9. And so it's got pretty much the city and the painted ladies down here. And they manage buildings. So I put their buildings in here. And then you can't really see it because it's in pencil still, but the Bay Bridge. And then these are some other properties that they take care of. So I need to do that. And so they asked for something kind of on the cartoon-like side. And they requested black and white at first, and then they want to see what it looks like in color. So we'll see how that goes. And so another thing too, so when a client wants a sketch like this, I do ask for a deposit. If they are not sure that they want to hire me, then they can just pay an hourly fee for me to, you know, do a sketch for them. Let me see. I know I have a lot of notebooks in my car or in my garage, but let me see what I can find here. Got a lot.
I do have a question in the meantime. So usually what is the time frame that your client will be looking at to go back and forth with the sketch that you're actually finalizing?
Well, they're all different. Some people are like, yeah, that's great. I love it. And that's always, you know, the best. But that doesn't always happen. You know, that Piazza Novana, that really big one, I think we went back and forth a dozen times. And that was very frustrating. But usually it's just a few times.
Okay. So approximately about like 15 days to a month. What is the shortest frame and what is the longest frame of what you have done?
Oh, well, oh, you mean with the sketches?
Yeah.
How long they take? Well, I mean, this one took me 2 weeks just to find the time to do it. And then usually, you know, like I'm hoping to get this to her tomorrow. Usually within a few days to a week, she'll have some feedback for me. I might have to provide another sketch. I do give them 2 revisions before I ask for another payment again, or or something additional. So that way they're not revising it 50 times and I could probably spend a week on some of these.
Right, thank you.
Here's a little sketch I did for a kid's room. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. I ended up painting this one too. Let's see. Yeah, I have a lot of them in my garage. This one doesn't have too much.
Do you prepare yourself, like when you are on the site, you wear your tennis shoes, like you just are very do you want to be comfortable, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. My hair is up in a ponytail and
Yes. Okay.
I look horrible.
Because it's a house paint, so also you, they are very toxic to your skin. So you probably, I mean, not toxic in a way, but like it's like you don't want it to touch your skins and all, or you get messy.
Yeah, I get messy. It doesn't bother me. I come home with paint all over my hands,
Okay.
in my hair, on my face.
Do you wear face
Everywhere.
mask on your nose to avoid breathing it in?
No, the paint isn't toxic. So the paint now has they're not toxic at all.
They can't sell
there's a-
it. They can't sell the toxic paint now. It's like,
Not anymore. No, they used to, but I'm not sure. 20 years ago, I probably was inhaling a lot of toxic paint. I don't know.
I think enamel is a little bit harder. Enamel because it's shiny, and so I just wonder that like if you have to do like the very shiny paint out anytime, have you worked with it?
Yeah, well, the gloss paint is the same. Again, I just use, like a house type of paint, like a polyurethane. It's all water based. I don't use any oil base. So it's all water based.
I have a question. Have you done the utility boxes also, or mainly the murals on the wall?
When I first started painting, I did do some utility boxes, but I haven't done any in a long time.
Do you find any difference in doing on the wall and on the utility box?
Well, the paint is different. I do remember using a different paint for the utility boxes, but now that I know more about it, I'm sure that this is the way they do it now. You can prime the boxes with a type of primer that adheres to the metal, but you can also paint on it with a water-based paint. You could use acrylic or like house paint, and it sticks just fine. And then you again just go over it with a polyurethane.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when I did it, I did use an oil-based paint.
Mm-hmm. So how about this Nova paints? Do you have any idea about the Nova paints? Are they good?
Nova?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nova. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, they are good. I use, like I said, I use just your typical latex paint. I do have my favorites, my favorite brands that I use, but for large walls, I'll use a combination of the latex paints. And my favorite is golden acrylic paint. I use a lot of golden paint. They should be paying me to advertise for them, because I actually buy gallon jugs of it because it's so expensive.
And for preserving the painting, do you have a top layer of like you put something for preserving it, just acrylic? No. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a polyurethane coating over it. That's all I use over it. And like I said, that's just for the exterior murals. The interior murals don't really need it.
So, but how many layers normally you put it?
Oh, two. Two layers. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You put your
color. Is there like a wholesale store that you would recommend when you're buying such gallons of colors? What kind of stores do you use?
I go directly to the manufacturer. Okay. But if I need something, I'll go to a paint store. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Neela.
Oh no, I was just curious that maybe she writes her daughter's name somewhere, like in the whole mural, something she has that if we go and look around, like how do we, you have your signature, but do you like put something in the mural, your own little signature there, like other than the signature?
Sometimes, yeah, I have. What I was doing once for about a year, I would hide hearts and everything. So I think I did one time where I asked my client, I said, count how many hearts there are in this mural.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so yeah, sometimes I have put names in it, hidden names. Or one time, all of my assistants, I let them hide their names in the mural. So yeah, we do fun things like that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting. Do you document all your on the like your painting process? Do you like take pictures and all in between?
Oh yeah, so I'm on Instagram, and so if you even look at my Instagram, you can see every day we're posting something. So the process of everything is on there. So, you know, like for instance, this Amazon job, you know, we were taking videos, introducing the job and what we're doing, and then, you know, joking around about how hot it is in San Francisco, and then how early we are there and how late we are, and, you know, taking pictures of us up on these big lifts. And like we were on a boom lift that had 12 buttons on it, and we're like, we got to figure out how to use this thing.
So the client organizes for you, or you have your own context that you rent it from lift people, like, because you need to plan all those things.
Yeah, I contact them and have it delivered. Mm-hmm.
Do you like prefer some time that you would like to paint and then go early, like you like to paint early and then come back, or how does it work?
Well, I have kids and a family, so I have to, you know, I bring my kids to school and then I go to work. And then, you know, so I work typical like 9 to 5 or 6 hours. So that way I try to make it home back, you know, before my kids go to bed. But in the hot days, you know, in the summer when it's really hot, I will go early or I will go really late. And if the job is far away, I have to spend the night out there too, wherever I am.
Mm.
I would like to take you back on time a little bit, because I'm always interested in how artists kind of have the confidence to move forward in their artwork. So, which was your first mural that kind of made that for you?
Oh, my first mural. So when I started, I was 25, and I was working in a printed circuit board company, actually, and I just started painting like in my house, and some friends kind of saw my artwork, and I didn't really consider myself an artist or anything, but I was tired of commuting, and so I left the company. And then some friends were, you know, telling me that I should paint these murals. And like I said, I didn't really know how to paint a mural at all. But I went to a home and garden show. So basically how it worked was, somebody told me about these ladies that paint murals. And so I thought, well, that sounds interesting. And I mean, really, I don't know what made me do it. It was, I just kind of did it and felt like maybe this is the thing to do. I was really weird because I didn't really have any doubts in my mind. I just went for it and did it. Somebody told me about a home and garden show, And I remember at that time, because I was unemployed, I didn't have the money. So I took my car payment that month and I put it down in this home show. And I've never even been to a home and garden show, so I didn't really know what to bring or do. So I just brought a small portfolio. I think I had like 5 pieces, like canvas pieces, one thing I did in my home that, I mean, it all looked, I think, pretty horrible. But when I went to the show, people had never heard of anything like this. And they liked the idea. So at the end of the show, I actually had a lot of people that signed up to have consultations. And so when, of course, I got my first mural, and I had no idea how to paint a mural. So I just did it. And I did a grid of it. So actually, I think that night, like, I went to the library and I got books on how to paint a mural. And I went to her house and I gridded out and I painted it. And the woman, when she saw it, she cried. She said, "Oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful thing. And I love it." And she was crying and I cried. And so I just thought, okay, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And I don't know, it just happened. Like I said, I didn't really even know how to do this.
You're very brave, for sure.
You're very brave and courageous.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I think it was that, I didn't really have much of a choice because I wasn't working at the time. And I guess I kind of figured, oh, what is it going to hurt? I might lose out on $500 or this will work. I know maybe I was 25. I was dumb. I didn't really think anything of it. I think I was excited to just try. That was it. Oh, I can't hear anything.
No, thank you.
There we go.
Murals, has it ever happened that you're not happy with it, or the client was not happy and then you have to redo it? Has it ever happened?
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking it must have happened. Well, I do have, if I'm not happy with it, it's not because, I don't think it's because anything that I could have helped. And usually it's because, like the client, I've got many stories, but one of them that I can think of is I was painting in this couple's home, and the wife had this idea that she really wanted. I created the mock-up for it and everything, and I'm painting it on the wall, and I thought it was beautiful. And then the husband comes home and he says, "Oh, I don't know if I like this." And so he came over and he telling me, well, can you change this? And can you add that? And change this and change that? And I did have a conversation where I said, look, I'm here for the day. And if you make these changes, like, I'm more than happy to make these changes, but I'm not able to come back tomorrow unless you want to pay for another day. And he said, "That's fine. I just want you to change these clouds." Well, these clouds got changed, and the whole thing got changed, and it came out horrible. And I thought it was looking really beautiful at first, and so did the wife, but the husband came in and just ruined it. And I know that they weren't very happy with it. I know that's for sure. And then I've got a lot of stories. But usually it's because the client, they're not sure of what they want. I had one woman, I was painting a Disney scene in her living room, and she gave me the wrong Disney castle to paint. So she said, I want the LA the Disney castle in LA down south. And I mean, I'm somewhat familiar. I mean, I've been, but I'm not that much into Disney to where I know the differences between all the castles. So she gave me the picture of the wrong castle.
Oh
And so
my
she was very upset about that. And I had to redo the entire mural almost. And she had to pay for it, though. It wasn't my mistake.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, but many times it's things like that where they see the sketch and they think, oh, I like that. And then when they see it on the wall, it's not what they thought it was going to look like.
I have another last question, maybe. So do you think anytime if you have a project in San Jose, Sunnyvale, our art members can come just shadow, see it in person, just watch the whole process any day?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
You guys think?
Yeah, I mean, my projects are all over the Bay Area, so, and even Sacramento. So I don't have any that are coming up. Though I'm going to Mountain View tomorrow for a consultation, so it's possible. And this one is for a tech company, though. So, but yeah, if I'm ever in the area, I can definitely get a hold of you.
That would be awesome.
Thank
Do
you
you
so
have
much.
more questions for Hayley? That was really helpful.
Yeah. And I mean, another thing too, feel free to, I don't know if anybody is on Instagram or anything, but you can definitely see what I'm doing and where I am, or you can always send me an email. And then that way I have you. What was that?
Sorry, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but I wanted to ask you, can you put your Instagram on the chat so we can go there directly? Thank you.
Yeah, or even my my email address too, and then that way I can save it. But so I mean, my Instagram is it's the Bay Area Muralist. So you could just search the Bay Area Muralist. Let's see. And my email address is Bay Area Muralist at Gmail. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. And then there's my email. So yeah, like I said, I post a lot, so you can kind of always see where I am, and they are usually posted, daily, if not a couple times a day.
Thank
All right.
you so much, Shelley.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, or if you ever have a project, or if you want to create your own mural or or anything, I mean, I'm open to answering any questions or helping out any way that I can. I mean, pretty much, I'm an open book. I don't really have too many secrets or anything to what I do. So I'm happy to help if anybody has any questions later on, if you're doing any projects.
You have inspired all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hayley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the
Thank you
best.
for having me.
Yeah, it was great. All the best, Hayley.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. It was great talking to everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.